悪霊退散
I was not having fun with Tekken 8, but ever since I started to play Kazuya, like my fun meter like just went through the roof. Currently, playing Kazuya is more fun than playing Yoshimitsu. I love Yoshimitsu, but I just think like with Yoshimitsu, I know everything. There's no learning, there's no nothing new. It's just the game. And I don't like the game. But with Kazuya, I'm learning a new character and a character who has so much depth and complexity to it. Because Yoshi's lame. Well, I don't think Yoshi's lame. I think Yoshi's actually one of the greatest characters in Tekken. I understand you probably dislike Yoshimitsu, right? But let me explain it to you how I see it. Yoshimitsu is the most Tekken because what I envision Tekken to be is a game where you put the pieces together. The game gives you these characters who have these tools, and then you figure out how to put it together. You figure out how to work. Like with Kazuya, Kazuya's like that as well. After playing Kazuya, he's like that as well, where the game gives you all of these things, and then you have to figure out where to do it, how to time it, how to do this, the spacing, this, that. Obviously, Kazuya and Yoshimitsu are like different in terms of so many different things, but I do like how both of these characters are given tools, and then you make those tools work. Now, once again, obviously Yoshimitsu's far stronger than Kazuya currently, but when Yoshimitsu's brought down as he should be, I think he will be more fun to experiment with, because right now, one thing that I got bored of is Yoshimitsu being too effective. Yoshimitsu was just way too effective. Everything was so free, it was so easy, it was so effortless, and it was horrible. I like when Yoshimitsu's a weaker character, how he's supposed to be, but you have so many interesting tools to where if you put those together properly, it works. And I feel like Kazuya should be that, but differently, because those characters are you know, Kazuya is fun because he's so satisfying to win with. Yeah, very satisfying. Learning Kazuya is fun, but it's frustrating VSing cheese characters with Kazuya. Oh, we'll see. I kind of am getting a little taste of that. It is these characters who have these very aggressive tools or just cheesy whatever, and trying to figure out how to get out of it or to fight out of it using Kazuya has been interesting as well, because you know Yoshimitsu has the flash, and even when the flash wasn't broken, you could still use that as it was one of the best defensive tools in Tekken 7. Also the spin, you know, Yoshimitsu has a lot of great defensive tools that I mastered. Even though like the flash and all these things is super scrubby, this and that, I still mastered the mechanic. So when I get pressured, you know, it's like second nature to spin out of it, to flash out of it, to hop knee out of it. With Kazuya not having all of those tools, you can ignore the flash and the spin, but you can talk about Yoshimitsu's down forward 4, or Yoshimitsu's hop knee, or Yoshimitsu's down forward 2. I know Kazuya has electric, but I haven't mastered that yet. But I think just, you know, with Yoshimitsu having all of these great keep out tools, and then not having that with Kazuya, like it's giving me a new challenge that I'm enjoying going up against. I asked people what is Kazuya's good keep out tool, and people started saying jabs and stuff. I was like, oh my god, because I thought I was doing something wrong, but he doesn't have it. He doesn't, according to the people who told me, like, he doesn't have those tools. But yeah, the whole like argument of skill thing is kind of annoying. In a video that I did recently, I was talking about how like I started playing Kazuya, right? I'm kind of going into this like not obviously I know like kind of a lot now because you guys have been very helpful. Also, I'm applying like a lot of my knowledge with Yoshimitsu to Kazuya. It's Tekken at the end of the day, right? Even though all these characters are playing their own version of Tekken, once you understand the mechanics, like how combos work, you know, how pokes work, you know, you can apply that to any character, right? So, and that's kind of what I mean. Is like, you know, all of that timing and like, you know, mix up knowledge that I have with Yoshimitsu, I've been trying to apply that to Kazuya and, you know, tweak it here and there. But yeah, when I said that, everyone was like, you suck, you don't have that skill, and I can't tell because your Kazuya is so bad. And it's like, yeah, you guys are poisoned. What controller are you using? I'm using a PS5 controller, normal PS5 controller, and I play on an analog stick. I know when I say that as well, people cringe, but I learned, I gotta explain this all the time because, you know, I understand, right? So I play all other games with analog sticks, so I was like, oh, okay, this is just another game. Let's use the analog stick, right? That was my mindset. But then about 5-6 years later, I learned that the D-pad was superior. I eventually gave it a shot like 2 or 3 years later when I started streaming, right? And then at that point, my hands hurt. I basically do everything that destroys your hands. I used to ride dirt bikes, that destroys your hands. I play games, that destroys your hands. I use keyboards, destroys your hands. You know what I mean? So like everything that destroys your hands, I do, and my hands are trash, you know? Show us your electrics. So, okay, so maybe you guys can help me with this. Kazuya does that sidestep. I don't know what that sidestep is. I don't know what that is. That's not the sidestep. That's not the electric, right? That's the electric. That's the wave dash. That sidestep dash, I don't know what that is. Misstep, good sir. Random direction. Nothing special. Misstep. That's just some extra movement he gets. So wait, so the misstep where he goes sideways is the same thing as a wave dash? Why does it look different then if they're the same thing? Nice. Nice. I'm getting really good. I'm getting really good with Kazuya. Obviously not really good, but I'm just saying really good for my skill level at the moment. You know, I feel like I always got to put these precursors in there because you're going to have that one person who's like, you're trash, bro. And it's like obvious. You're never going to use it to actually sidestep. It's just a part of Kazuya's input, forward being the input and the first part, Kazuya's option. You know what? Maybe I should just take it slow. Let's not do it over, because you know how when you practice a move, you just input that move over. Let's input the move a little bit slower, you know? And we can work, because I know with electrics, you got to do it fast. But let's perfect the motion, then we can add speed to it. Look here, little homie. Look, let me teach you a little something about life. It's not all about speed. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta perfect that motion. You know, you gotta get skilled at the craft. Then you can add some speed to it. Bro, you guys be downplaying like what the analog stick is capable of, but I think the analog stick is very powerful. I understand in past Tekkens it was trash, but you know, in modern Tekkens they consider the analog stick a lot more now. Because if you think about it, right, this game is trying to bring in new players. You would imagine they would want to have those guys use something that they're comfortable with, and that is the analog stick. So it would make sense that Tekken would incorporate the analog functions more. No, the analog stick is bad because it's easier to miss input. So I played Tekken 2 on analog stick, and on that game, I could not do nothing. This is me dashing forward with the analog stick on Tekken 2. Look at this. Look at this. The analog stick is useless on Tekken 2. Okay, backdash is a little better. And in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, I couldn't do this. This move right here, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was just too difficult. In Tekken 7, they made it a little bit easier to do. In Tekken 8, it is so much easier. The reason why I wanted to take this time and talk about it is because I do think the analog stick is misunderstood. A lot of people still think of it the same way that it used to work in past Tekkens, when it really doesn't work that way anymore. You know, you got to use movement, you got to do movement. It's mandatory. But I'm happy that I do play a character where that isn't like the necessity, right? Now, obviously, I'm playing Kazuya now, and Kazuya is like, you do need movement, right? So we'll see how much I struggle with that as time goes on. But you know, I am happy that there's characters in the games for people whose hands are trash. My hands are trash, and Yoshimitsu is a character who, you know, is for that. So I'm happy that the game gives people those type of things, you know what I mean? Nah, this guy isn't real. This guy isn't real. Nah, this is unreal. You're actually not bad. Thank you. Yeah, I be feeling like I suck, you know. I uploaded a video of like my Kazuya experience, and then everyone in the comment section was like trashing me, and I took it down. What rank are you with Yoshi? Tekken God. I'm Tekken God with Yoshimitsu. Trying out Kazuya gave me new motivation. One is because Yoshimitsu's super effective. I think he's too powerful, and that takes away the satisfaction of like winning, in my opinion. I don't want to win because the character's powerful. I want to win because I'm good. And with Tekken 8, I don't feel that way. I feel like Yoshimitsu is too powerful, and I know how to use all of his tools so perfectly to where I dominate. I was high rank in Tekken 7. So if you take someone with that kind of knowledge and you give them a busted character, they're going to do damage. It wasn't satisfying, and I lost motivation. And that's why in my videos, you guys see me playing like an idiot. Like, you guys see me key charging, you see me being obnoxious. That's because that's the only way I can have fun, is by trolling. This game and this character is so unbalanced to where I just have fun bullying people. Taking on Kazuya, he's fun. He gives me like that challenge. Like, you know, he's just like he's a challenging character who, you know, you have to, like, you know, really kind of understand the game to make work. So I feel like he's kind of remind me of what Yoshimitsu used to be. Because I know people say like Yoshimitsu's always been carried and it never takes skill, but I don't agree with that. I think Yoshimitsu takes a lot of skill, and he's been considered one of the most difficult characters to use for a very long time. It's only very recently where Yoshimitsu is like this baby buttons character. That is an interesting concept, how you can be in the top 3% of players. Like, I am statistically one of the best players in the world. Statistically, I am. But then everyone will then still say someone of my skill is trash at the game. It's such a crazy thing. This Reina is struggling to stop this move, yet they will destroy you if the opportunity arises. With the right amount of advantage right here, right? Heat activate, now mix up, they will cook you. But look at that, bro gave up his turn. Bro is so afraid of this move that he gave up his heat activated turn to block low. What? You can get a really high rank on Kazuya with fight execution if you have fundamentals. Same with any character. Bro, for real, you gotta work on your backdash. Well, see, I explained the backdash before. Is my backdash really that bad? Because a lot of people bring it up all the time, and I feel like I'm repeating it a lot. But I play analog stick, bro, and my hands are trash. And also, the goal isn't to be the best. The goal is just to have fun. Lately, I've been struggling to have fun with Tekken 8 because of the balancing. I'll worry about being the best, maybe never. You know, maybe I'll leave that to you guys, you know? That's what tournaments are for, you know? You know the crazy thing about Yoshimitsu? He has the Manji Hill stance where you cancel it into down back. And he creates a lot of space with it. More space than the Korean backdash itself. And this is why when people say Yoshimitsu's not a complicated character, yes he is, because things like that. He literally has like the hill cancel thing, which is like advanced movement. It's obviously not as advanced as the Korean backdashing. Execution isn't the only thing that makes characters difficult. You know that, right? Because if you think about Yoshimitsu being considered one of the most complicated characters in the past, that's not because of execution. That was for a different reason. And that reason still exists. Right now, it's just overshadowed with a lot of overpowered garbage. Someone in the chat just said Kuma has one button electrics. Like, why are you on my line about Yoshi?